The grassroots is so important in why we set up Arrows. It's our core mission to get kids playing wheelchair sports. Obviously, the reason I started it was because I realised that there was no competitive wheelchair basketball team in Kent. But also, one of the main reasons I did it was because it just wasn't disability sport when I was a child. So that was something I wanted to try and achieve, was to give children the opportunity to actually be able to play a decent level of sport within a school setting.
At the very beginning, I had no idea how influential you end up being as a coach. You kind of go in and you do a little bit of a session and you realise it's bigger than basketball, and you realise it's bigger than competing. You know, I come from a very, very cellular sport, and you end up sort of being all about performance, and that's all well and good, but there needs to be more grassroots for the kids to get to that level, especially down in the southeast. You're sort of in the corner, sort of tucked away. And I just wanted the opportunity to just be a part of something where you're giving something back, and Ben kind of gave me that opportunity.
I started here when the club here started as well. It was when I came back from university basically, and I was looking for a local club to play for, and Ben had just started up here at the time, so I started coming on to sessions. I was never really good at basketball before I was disabled, which was the funny part. I've got a spinal cord injury, and when I was injured I was in one of the national rehab units at Stoke Mandeville, and they got us to play sport every Wednesday there, and that was one of the sports we played, and I just found it really fun at the time.
You get parents who aren't quite sure what the future looks like for their child. So when they come to our club, we've got people who have married able-bodied partners, married disabled partners, have children, got jobs, don't have jobs. So you've got every normal facet of life within the disabled community as you would do in a able-bodied community. But I think it helps a lot of parents if they can see that, because there's a lot of parents out there that just worry about what the future holds for their children.
As parents, you want your kids to be treated normal, but they don't know how to go about it. And that opportunity of playing sport breaks down that barrier if there is one. The other side to that is when the mum and dad walk in and they see their son charging around and being battered and clattered, and they kind of go, oh, they're just normal guys, they're just normal men and women having a giggle, having a laugh, having a bit of banter. And it makes them realise that everything's going to be okay.
I've always played a lot of sports, so I needed to find a sport that I could play in a wheelchair, and this was quite local and they're very welcoming. They have beginner sessions and the senior team. Being in a team and being around other people who use wheelchairs, and also just, getting exercise and just being around other people who understand you, I think is really helpful.
All day long, people, all day long.
When you go into a grassroots club, you're teaching kids with disabilities some ground rules that they can take into their everyday lives that parents and kids don't always realise. That's a massive point of emphasis for me. It's broader than just playing sport. It's about giving kids the opportunity to develop as a person through sport, rather than sport be the only focus.
I used to struggle with a lot with confidence and doing things, but since joining here, the people have made me feel so welcome, and I feel like my self-esteem and confidence has just gone sky high. It's really good. I'd definitely like to go bigger with what I'm doing here. I enjoy this so much. I just want to get myself up there and get known more so I can get selected and have more opportunities. We're all sportsmen and women, and we're all quite driven, and we want to do well. And I think that's the biggest message, is you mustn't be frightened of disability. You must embrace it as best you can and use it as a tool. The club is that vessel to do that.
Being a wheelchair user, there's not many situations where I can be competitive and strive to be better than another person, better than the peer next door to you. And I love the fact that I can strive to be that person and make someone look stupid, on the other end of the court. This team it's really evolved since I first joined. Ben's done a fantastic job.
Basketball is running, national leagues going, Inspire leagues going, we're working in primary schools, we're getting development session. For me now, it's where do we take Folkestone Arrows from here? I want to set it up as an independent charity, because at the moment we're an affiliated club with British Wheelchair Basketball, and I'd like to be able to do more locally for disabled people. There isn't the support out there for disabled people as much as there should be. I would like to be able to offer that support, and I want to be able to keep the legacy of Folkestone Arrows going forward.